Welcome, one and all, to the third day of the 12th Alliance tournament. This is CCB Fozzie, joined by Elise Randolph, and we have
Hey,
an
everybody.
amazing set of fights for you here today. First off, we have Clockwork Pineapple versus Exodus Dot. All of the matches today are matches for people that won in last weekend. So this is all winners bracket matches. These are the teams that are in the best position going forward as of this weekend. And Clockwork Pineapple and Exodus are going to be bringing us something really exciting, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. And like you said, this is the winners brackets. So no one here wants to lose, even though it won't eliminate them, but they still want to stay in as long as they can. So what we've got so far is Exodus bringing a double rattlesnake with some frigates and a claymore for links. They've got two Molluses for dams, while Clockwork Pineapple went with a more throwback team with triple Sleipnirs and then worms and flycatchers and a Serb as their wing. They're really good at killing small ships, so this should be a really fun match. Lots of explosions.
Yeah, I have to imagine those Molluses are sitting there pretty nervous, seeing all the light missile damage across the field from them. But the match has now begun. Both teams sent their bigger ships in a bit closer and kept their small guys out behind, but they came in from pretty close beacons, so they're actually not very far from each other.
Yeah, exactly. They're not exactly where they want them to be. We see the first casualties going on the Harpy for Exodus.
A lot of damage being
Pineapple.
taken by the first Grun Sleipnir there, too. The Sleipnir of Aloe is getting pounded on. He's being webbed, but he is catching reps, so we're going to have to see how long he can hold out against the DPS from these rattlesnakes.
Yep, it looks like the Dampor is actually won by the Exodus team. Like, they're taking almost no damage now. These rattlesnakes are just having their way with this Grun Sleipnir. Aloe is about to need some aloe for the burn he's going to get.
Oh, big boost there. He does have an ASB, and it looks like he was saving that until he got a bit lower, but I don't think it's going to be enough to save him. He's taking enough damage to push right through that, and if he drops down, that's a lot of DPS off the field. Yeah, meanwhile, the Flycatchers and the Cerberus for Clockwork Pineapple are fully damped, so they're not apply the damage.
They can't apply anything. All this small target damage. You saw the first small ship go down and get almost volleyed, but ever since then, absolutely nothing's going on, and Aloe is leaking lower and lower into structure.
That being said, he's pulling up a bit now, but he's going to go into reload on that ASB any moment now. He does have rep drones on him. He took a big chunk of armor, but now he's actually back up to about 80% shields. But when he goes into reload, I have a feeling he's going to be in a pretty big trouble. Though he's broken the web. So at this point, he may actually be able to pull enough range to keep himself alive.
So Exodus had light webbing drones on this Sleipnir, and it looks like he just killed the webbing drones and is now boogieing away. Those light web drones, probably a very interesting choice of drone. And now we see Exodus. Okay, wow. They're not able to apply that much damage anymore. The aloe is still leaking. Oh, this is not good. He's probably on his reload cycle now. He needs to hold for another 30 or 40 seconds.
I don't think it's going to be quite enough, although who knows? It's going to be pretty close. Meanwhile, the worm and crow that have gone down have both just basically fallen to all of the rail and light missile damage. Oh, Aloe is. I just got to think that was a boost there. I think he is now.
If he reloaded, then he's good. He's good. There's light shield maintenance spots all over the place from the Clockwork team.
Oh, he's into structure. So it's going to be very, very close. I'm not leaving.
Meanwhile, the Mollusk
right
is starting to take damage on the Exodus side. Exodus are now just splitting damage a little bit. The rattlesnakes are shooting the Sleipnir. Everything else is going on to the support wing of Clockwork. So they're trying to keep the Logi honest, which is a good tactic.
Aloe is holding on, but they need to be killing some stuff during this time. He's earning the team a whole lot of time, but they're not getting the kills to make up for it.
Yep. Meanwhile, these Molluses on the Exodus side are somehow managing to live in spite of everything. And now a new Sleipnir is taking damage.
That seems like a surprising choice, considering that they've still got some DPS on Aloe. Actually, what it probably means is the Scimitar for Clockwork Pineapple is right up beside Aloe, and he's damped, so they're going to hope that he can't get locks on any other targets.
Yeah. Oh, the first Mollusk dies. The fight just got a lot easier for Clockwork, but I don't know if they were able to kill it that fast.
Yeah, I mean,
fast enough, I should say.
At the moment, all the damps that we're seeing on Clockwork Pineapple are on the Scimitar, and he is right beside Aloe, so he can rep that Sleipnir that's still taking damage. But Aloe is still breaking. He's in very low structure, and I'm sure he's going to explode any moment now. Oh, look, just taking slivers. There he goes.
There he goes. All right, lead firmly in Exodus's hand now, I'd say.
Yeah,
So that Sleipnir did tank for a long, long time.
yeah, but considering that they were only able to pick up some frig kills during that whole amount of time, that really isn't what Clockwork Pineapple wanted to do. If they could have gotten some big ships down in that time, maybe gotten a web on the Basilisk, but just not enough, as we see the second Sleipnir dropping extremely fast.
So it looks like Exodus were killing some of the rep drones around the Sleipnir, which is what eventually made him break. So smart choice on that one.
Tim Nielsen, it doesn't look like he got his booster activated at all. He's dropping into low structure now, and he's going to be off field. There he goes. That is another Sleipnir kill for Exodus. And at this point, yeah, they're sitting very pretty. As long as they can keep the Rattlesnakes, Claymore, and Basilisk alive, that core, then they'll be able to mop up the field at this point.
Yeah, it's definitely just mop-up work for Exodus now. Though they're still taking some damage on these Harpies, but there's nothing really left. I mean, the Harpies can probably all die, and the Rattlesnakes will still be able to clean up within the allotted time.
At this point, I think the main danger to Exodus is what has proven to be the biggest killer of Rattlesnakes in this tournament, micro-jump driving out of the arena.
Yes. It looks like if we look at the Rattlesnakes, they are not anywhere close to the MJD beacons. They don't want to risk it. They're kind of in the center, so even if they accidentally fat finger their MJD, they're still going to be all good.
Yeah, so Basunda there in his Sleipnir got himself into structure but managed to pull back. These guys seem to be just waiting a long time to turn on their ASBs, and the reps aren't landing very fast. That's probably because of the damps that the Scimitar had on him until they switched to him now, so they don't care if he's damped. As Ath is taking a bunch of damage really fast there, and he's got webs and painters and scrams on him.
Yeah, if they only could have killed these two Molluses earlier, I think the Clockwork team would be able to have a much better time, but they just lost the Dampor too hard, I guess. And now their Scimitar is down, their Sleipnir is taking damage, they have a worm entering armor.
At this point, it's pretty much cleanup. Now, this Exodus team has a lot in common with the team that PL brought last weekend. Do you want to talk at all about the similarities and differences between those two setups?
Yeah, exactly. So PL won the last Alliance tournament with a Rattlesnake team with a bunch of frigates for the core. That's with the same type of team that PL took for their first match last week. And that's sort of what Exodus decided to win. 2 Rattlesnake core, so you can project your damage really far. A Basilisk, because it's got a really nice tank. Maybe you can try and tinker with the Rattlesnake and Bassie. Maybe that's like one of their options, but we didn't actually have to see that here. And then just the frigate wing goes out, grabs the bad guy, holds him down. The Rattlesnake throws its damage onto him, and then that bad guy's dead. And the Rattlesnakes have so much HP that it's a pain to chew through.
Yep. We saw when PL brought that last weekend, a very similar setup to this, they banned out damps completely. They used their bans entirely focused on damps. Would you say that's probably the biggest weakness of this kind of setup?
Possibly. It's really hard to say. I know PL pretty much habitually always bans damps because they think damps are really powerful. Like if you look through the bans last tournament, PL banned, I think, Mollis every single time. Mollis carries or Celestis Mollis, except for like two matches in the finals. They didn't ban the damps. But yeah, PL just hates the concept of damps.
So while we've been talking here, most of the Clockwork team has been mopped up, but the Cerberus and Flycatchers have decided that they want to take down that Basilisk, and it looks like they're going to be able to pull it off. This is a rapid light missile Cerb, combined with the light missile on the Flycatchers. They've got a ton of range. Oh, there goes one of the Flycatchers, though. They're not going to win this fight, but if they can take that Basilisk down, that'll be a nice little consolation for them, I think. A moral victory.
Yeah. Yeah, a morale victory it's always good. I mean, these guys aren't eliminated by any means, and this wasn't like they got completely curb stomped or anything. This Clockwork Pineapple team is pretty legit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean Autocannon Sleipnir team is of course a team that's near and dear to my heart. It's one of my favorite, probably it's my favorite tournament ship hands down, and it just comes up against a pretty rough matchup here. There's a lot of hit points to eat through on those Rattlesnakes. It's not the best matchup for the Autocannon Sleipnirs to come up against. Yeah,
this Exodus team that we're seeing here is kind of a throwback to what was popular last tournament, which was a 2-core lineup with an assault frig wing. It was popular last year and the year before last, but last weekend in day 1 and day 2, we very rarely saw this type of archetype being fielded.
Yeah.
So it's nice to see it be really effective and still be relevant in the tournament.
Yeah, we saw a whole lot more command ship teams with a lot of EOSs. We also saw a lot of very cruiser-heavy teams using Vexor Navies and Vexors and Gilas. It'll be interesting to see if that continues through this weekend, as we have a Sleipnir and a battleship team starting us off. We also saw a ton of flagships last weekend, so it'll be fun to see if that continues, or if teams decide that after all the flagship exposure last weekend, they can decide to hold back for a little while.
Yeah, maybe they're going to pump the brakes a little bit. But interestingly enough, neither of these teams banned out the EOS, and neither of the teams even care to even consider bringing in EOS or any EOS type team. I mean, Clockwork banned the Navy Vexor, but that hasn't stopped other teams before. So is this like a week 2 meta is like down with the EOS, or is it just these two teams that don't care?
Yeah, it'll be very interesting to see how that continues. We've got a whole bunch more of these winter bracket matches coming up. It's interesting also that this is a drone team that made use of sentry drones, which is something we actually didn't see a whole lot of the first weekend. It was a lot of heavy drone teams, but the bouncers that Exodus used on the rattlesnakes have been working really effectively in this match.
Yeah, and the bouncers they're clearly just tracking everywhere in the arena. They're just hitting the whole thing. This flag catcher's really far away from them, and he's still getting lit up.
And there he goes down, and that is the end of the match. And Exodus has taken a very solid victory over Clockwork Pineapple, and they'll move on through the winner's bracket. Clockwork Pineapple will get knocked down to the elimination bracket, but they're not eliminated yet. And we'll be back in just a few moments for Pasta Syndicate versus Quebec United Legions, the team that brought the awesome flag food last weekend.
Yes, the flag food, it might come back. Here's hoping.